Good evening and welcome to Karen A Dahlman. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Jacqueline. So wonderful to be here with you today.
Oh, it's so great to speak to you. And we've just had a conversation, and I think it's 3 years since we spoke.
I think it has been, and probably three and a half, going on 4 years since last time I saw you in the UK.
Yeah, that's right. And
Been a while.
I've got my little book.
Yay! That is the third book I wrote, The Spirit of Alchemy. I love that book because it's so personal to me, so deep.
Yeah, it's a beautiful book. And so there we go as well. So, yeah. But yeah, it is a fabulous book, and you've done 5, and
Thank you.
you've just published another one as well.
I did. It's right here. It's called Stop Dating Red Flags. And it's really, it's funny because this book is not at all about the tales I tell. I tell a lot of funny stories in here, the guys I dated. It's really about me repeating the patterns and dating the same type of guy, just a different person, and different name, but it was the same kind of patterns. And this book helps you wake up to the patterns that you repeat so you can eventually choose wisely and consciously for yourself and to never self-abandon. I found myself doing that in relationships.
Oh, I have as well, and I think that's
I
why
think
I'm
a lot of
single.
women have. And people
Yeah.
have been writing to me and telling me, you wrote this book for me. You wrote this book about me. And I'm like, well, girlfriend, we're all kind of in the same boat. We do this to ourselves. We do.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it, but yeah, I have had. Yeah,
I
you
think,
sort of go down a route, and that's it.
I think we are very hopeful. We're not foolish. We're hopeful, and therefore we stay longer in relationships, hoping something will shift. And a lot of times people tell us words, but their actions don't follow too. And so you stay around for the hope of it instead of the reality, what's really happening. That's always been my thing. I've always been very hopeful in relationships, but then I realized I was compromising my own values, my own non-negotiables, and accepting that the crumbs that some of these relationships would give me. And I'm not blaming the men. I'm looking at myself and saying, why did I do that to myself? So because I got such a wonderful response, this book just came out 2 months ago. I just released the action plan workbook, which takes you on a 14-day journey of how to actually kick these habits and stop it. So you pick good people that are a good match for you. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Yeah,
Yep.
because I've certainly gone down the route twice. And that's it for me, really. And yeah, it's just me and my dog. Yeah, it's great company, but it's kind of not the same, is it? Obviously, but yeah, you just get on with things, and
Yeah,
yeah,
I find if you do what you're passionate about, we were talking about this earlier, right? You and I were talking about what
yeah,
you're passionate about getting out there. That's when you meet somebody. And then if you just stay aware and don't give away your red flags. If a red flag comes up and you go and you see it from this person you're dating, all you got to do is go, nope, not for me. Instead of saying, oh, well, maybe something's wrong with me. Maybe I'm too critical. Maybe I'm too harsh. The reality is they're not the right match for you. They may be a good
yeah,
match with somebody else. But if you get out there and do what you're passionate about, that's how I meet people. I meet people all the time for that, doing it that
yeah.
way.
I kind of went to I did join groups,
Yeah.
just to sort of get to know people, but I kind of never really found anyone. Well, I did go out with somebody at a group, but it really wasn't right.
Well, good for you for ending it instead of staying in it too long. I have this thing called the 3, 6, 9 month rule. In 3 months,
Ah,
I don't do anything. I don't do any intimacy, deep
yeah,
intimacy until I
yeah,
know a little bit more about the person. 6 months, if it's not aligned, I get out. If it's mostly aligned, I go 9 months, and then by then I'm out if it's not going to be right. And if I stick with that plan, which is what I do now, I'm able to end those relationships before I get in too deeply where
wow,
it was going to be bad for me, where I'm about compromising myself and not expecting that I deserve more. So it's really a book
yeah.
about empowering a woman, and men read it too. I have men reading this book and they say, oh my God, brilliant. I can see what goes on in a woman's mind. I go, well, it's true, but red flag's a red flag. We all have red flags, you know?
Oh gosh, definitely.
Yeah. It's just what's
Yeah,
not going to work for you, you know?
that's it. But it is incredible, and a lot of people are just going to find hope and help, really, aren't they, by reading that? And
Absolutely. And you know what I found in writing it? It was very cathartic. But in writing it also, it makes me look at all of my relationships, men, women, circumstances, and I look at it differently. And I say, okay, are we aligned, even as friends? Am I aligned with this activity I'm doing? So it's, oh, look, Barry's there. Hi, Barry.
Here's Barry. Yeah.
Yay,
He loves you.
Love you too. Love back at you.
I'm totally offended now, Barry. We're always chatting though, bless him, because we do events together, and
I know you guys. I
just love working with Barry. Yeah.
Yeah, Barry's over in the UK too, you guys. I don't know. You have an audience also in the United States, obviously.
Karen D is the best.
Yeah, Barry and I do the Ouija board really well together. We sat down in the UK the very first time I came out. I think I was there 3 years. So the first year it came out, he and I sat down, and it worked like that for us because he does this work already. Yeah, we just jive really well. I don't always get to sit down with somebody right away and for the board to work. Yeah, there's Barry. Yep. That was so awesome. So I talk about that a lot because it was an example of how it can work. The Ouija board can work for somebody with a partner right away, even though Barry and I didn't even know each other. But we both work with the board, and we both do a lot of spiritual kind of work and stuff. And so that really helps too, get the vibe just right so you can make it work. Yeah,
that was 7 years ago.
Was that 7 years ago?
Yeah, because I went to Sage Paracon. I just did that particular night. It didn't
was that 2018? You're right.
Yeah.
No. So, is that 7 years ago? Yeah. No, that's 8 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I came in 2018, 2019, and I think again in 22 or 21. I forgot what year it was now.
Yeah.
So wow.
So, like we sort of with all the speakers, you sort of go investigate, spend an hour with them. And the last one I had was your Ouija board session.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That was so incredible.
That was fun, wasn't it? And every year I've done the Ouija board session, it's different because it's different people, different investigation, and some really interesting things happen. Like, do you remember the year? I know we talked about it. Calvin was out there with me from the talking board.
He's so cool. Oh,
he's so fun. So we were doing the board in that group, and then hi Nicole. And then what happened was we got a message, and they go, I don't know what this is. They just left the paper on the table, and then what happened was the next group came in to sit down and use a board. They go, who wrote this message? They go, it was for me. So we got a message for somebody who was going to come to the session afterwards, and it was their message. They go, this is a message for me. And I go, well, these are the people that wrote it.
Yeah.
So psychic stuff happens. Psychic stuff happens all the time.
Yeah, it does. And it's so beautiful, isn't it? Like you can go on public events and people just want to pick up things about a location, but it's an opportunity for their family to come through.
Absolutely. We had a lot of family come through, and not just the spirits that were there at Coombe Abbey. We had other messages coming through from people that weren't even like back in the United States or in other part of the country. So yeah, you guys, I call the Ouija board my great cosmic phone. I dial up the frequency through my intentions and through my energy level, and then I could reach into other dimensions and other spirits that are not even present in that location. Spirit is non-local. That's a key. Spirit is non-local. If once you learn to tap into it and it wants to communicate with you, you can get messages wherever you are.
Yeah. But do you really get fed up with people who keep calling the board? You're well used to that, obviously.
Well, a lot of people are negative towards the board. There's quite a few of that. But what I find though, is there's a lot more positivity around it because people are realizing it's just a tool. And that they are the operator of this tool. So if they learn to use themselves, use their energy themselves, their fears, and check that stuff at the door, they can get great results with this tool. And that's what I teach. That is what I talk about. That's what I write about. And, all my books. And here's the one that this one is out there. You can get it on Amazon. The Spirits of Ouija. This is a second book I wrote, but it's specifically about all my experiences after only 40 years of using the board. I've been using it now 53 years. My 53rd year of using the board. So 40 years of using the board went into this. I didn't even come out into the public until I used the board 39 years to talk about my work.
Wow. That's amazing.
It really is amazing. So I included a lot of that, how to talk to animals, how to talk to your relatives, how to talk to spirits in locations, how to talk to spirits that aren't in locations. I talk about all that stuff. And I do talk about angels too, because you can learn to start talking to your higher self, your angelic group, your little furry friends, your little furry, could be scaly friends or feathery friends. We all have different kinds of pets. But
I have both.
yeah, oh, you do. What do you have? I
Yeah.
need to know. A bird?
I have a cockatiel. He's asleep at the
Oh,
moment, and I have a tortoise.
oh my! So you have scaly, feathery, furry
Yeah,
friends.
I just need a
Wow.
fish
Okay.
to make up
She's
the
got
whole
them
thing,
all
really.
covered almost.
Yeah, that's right. It's quite just kind of happened, really. But yeah,
Yeah, you got a little zoo at your house.
yeah, that's right. And yeah, it's they kind of complement each other, and even got their own characters. Even the tortoise. Chris is saying this is awesome. So I know Chris, he comes up.
Oh,
We've
hi,
known him
Chris.
about 10 years. So yeah, we started
Wonderful.
mediumship together like years ago when I didn't even believe in mediums, to be fair.
Yeah,
Now,
you draw a lot of that to you, the people that come to you, because they're also working on these levels of spirituality levels and with the different dimensions. Yeah, which is really cool.
but it's crazy because like most of my friends now are mediums.
Mm-hmm.
It's and it's strange, but yeah, that's what's happened.
I love it. I would say most of my friends are intuitive or empathic. They don't necessarily use that term, right? And yours are too. So they don't use that term. And they go, well, how do you do what you do? Because I do readings and all that stuff too, and do the channeling and all that.
Yeah.
And I say, well, I'm just so open. I've always been open to it, and I'm sensitive. And so these people I go, you're sensitive too. And they go, you think I could do this? I go, yeah. So I have a lot of friends who just start saying, I know when something's going to happen, or I know when the phone's going to ring, or I know when my friend needs me to call her. I hear that all the time from my friends. I go, that's because we are all sensitive. And what I find is happening in the world at large, on Earth, on our planet, and also happening on other planetary systems, is that we're all evolving. We're all opening up, like our pineal gland. We're starting to get more insights, awarenesses. Call them the clairsenses if you want. I call them my superpowers, but we have them. They're inherent in us. And now we're all beginning to open up to it. And the more we can talk about this, we were talking earlier how technology is so cool. We can just talk to people like in New Zealand, and you're in the UK, and I'm over here in Arizona.
Yeah, that's right.
Arizona, USA, and we can have these quick conversations and share these ideas and concepts. And that helps people understand they're not alone either. So then they wake up and say, well, I'm going to express more of my intuitive abilities, more of my empathic abilities. I'm going to speak up when I get a hit. So what I do when I do readings, the guides who I work with on the board, I've been working with them for years, 40 years at least with the guides alone. They taught me when I do my readings, and they come through and they channel. I don't use a board when I do my readings. I just channel, and they come through, and they said to me one time, they said, you need to tell her this. And I said, oh no, I can't say that. They said, how dare you assume what somebody can and can't hear when it's the right thing to hear? Trust, we're going to give it to you, and you should say it. Don't filter it. So I've learned, that's how I get to be better at getting the hits and getting the information. I don't judge it. I'm just the messenger. Yeah. That's why I'm really good at the Ouija board too. I let the messages flow, and I learn to, look like this right and go fast and check my brain out. When I do that, it's like I'm almost going in a self-hypnotic state on purpose to allow the messages to come through, so I don't judge them. So when I read, I'll say it, and I'll say, I don't know why I just said it. And I go, Karen, you don't need to know why. I'll interrupt myself. And then I say it, and they go, what you just said makes perfect sense. But see, I would not have known that if I judge it, and I wouldn't have said it. So to develop our skills more, we got to learn to take chances of expressing them out there. I don't go to people and go, oh, I got a message for you, and I don't know that person. But if somebody comes to me and says, give me what you're getting, I'm going to give them everything I'm getting, everything that comes.
That's cool. Yeah, because I was messaging a bloke, and all of a sudden, like, he said something, and I sort of said, you'll be okay. And then I thought, well, and I said it. And then I found out who I was saying it from. Then I gave him more information, and he's like,
you trusted it.
That's right. And I think through like learning with Barry, I've been doing development with Barry for ages now. It does help you. Like he says, he might say a weird phrase, and like think, oh, I can't say that. Just like
exactly,
you do, and they'll go, oh yeah, I get that, and you know, the more random it is, the more it's what the people want to hear, because it, you know, it's not something generalized, is it? It's something specific to them, and that's what they want.
And they need that sometimes just to even hear the message, because they're like, oh, I don't know, or their own fears about it, or they're not sure, and they're testing you. Hey, Colin. So I think it's great to share whatever you get as a reader. And even when you're new at doing it, I always say, you know, just tell people, I'm new at this. Just hear what I have to say. And I'll say some things that seem so random sometimes. And they're like, no. They reach back to me later and they go, oh my God, that's what that was. I'm like, just tuck it away. You just move on. So I don't want to get stuck either. So oh, hey, Lynn. Look, it's like a reunion. We got a reunion going on here, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. Lynn,
I know you guys. I was in the UK. How fun is this?
Oh, yeah. They were great times, though, weren't they?
Oh, my gosh. It's what happens in the UK stays in the UK, right? We have I got to tell you, those Sage Paracons.
I've got footage. Yeah. I have some footage. I remember now, yeah.
You guys need the best time. It is the best Paracons, and I'm sorry they're not doing them, but boy, I had an opportunity to do it 3 times with you all, and it was every year got just better and better. And you know, you meet people like her, and these people that are on her saying hi. I mean, and you become Facebook friends. You stay in touch, and you get to have this connection over the pond, if you will.
Yeah, but yeah, they were amazing times, you know, and like. We do. I go to one now, and like we're just friends.
That's what you do.
It's just great, isn't it? Lynn is coming to the US in October. So,
are you going to Salem, Lynn? So let's see where Lynn's going. Where are you going, Lynn? You got to tell us. Are you going to Salem? Where's she going? Or is she going to a Paracon or something? Or maybe she's coming for fun. We'll see. We'll see. She'll get back to us.
I need to.
Well, good for you coming in October. That's the witching month. So I figured you'd probably be going to Salem for that reason.
Yeah, we'll find out in a minute. But I must say the way you use a board is so incredible. I know you've like got years of experience, but oh my gosh, like you usually have someone sitting there. You still have someone sitting there writing it down.
Yep.
And you're like everywhere.
I'm right there, you guys. I'm like this. My hands on the planchette, and I'm like this.
And it's just so fast.
And I'm calling up letters C, T, Q, R, S. And I do that on purpose because, she's coming. Oh, Salem.
Yeah,
see?
Salem.
Oh, Yellowstone.
Yeah. Yellowstone.
Oh, the guys are from the Buffalo. Oh, that is beautiful country. You will have the best time. Oh, I love that area up there. Wow. I'm jealous. I love bison. I love the American bison. That's my favorite. That's my favorite big animal is American bison.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Incredible. Very, very cool. But yeah, so the way I use the board, I taught myself that technique. Again, it makes me kind of go in a hypnotic trance. I don't guess the words. You know that I make them spell it out because it's called a talking board, not a yes, no board. You know, and you can see me do it on my YouTube channel. I've done it many times with my older board partner. Yeah, when I work with somebody who's really good at using it, that's how I do it. And it just comes out really, really fast. But then again, that's 53 years of using this tool. You know,
it's just fantastic. It really is.
Thank you. Salem is amazing in October, the Ouija Board Museum. Yeah, that's my colleague, John Kozik, who owns the Witchboard Museum. We were just talking about him. I'd like him to be on this show. It's like I'm his agent now.
I'll have to wait.
And I'm going to be on a show tonight with John, a person that Jacqueline also knows, a friend of hers.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a fantastic museum, you guys, called the Talking Board. It's not Talking Board Historical Society. It's called the Salem Witchboard Museum, but John is part of the Talking Board Historical Society, which I am too. I've got my little pin on today. For that society. And we basically do study and show the facts and the research of the talking board from its inception all the way up to today.
Yeah. And you've got 3 boards behind you as well.
I got 3 boards I brought with me today. This is my I have one that's a little bit older than this one. This was 1892. It's a red maple board. It's made out of the slats. So it's 4 different pieces of wood with the backs behind it. It's in a pretty fragile shape, but I love it because it turned dark over the years. The glaze, the gloss on it, the varnish made it turn this color. The board next to it is a William Fold board from the 1950s. It's a larger board. That's the one I love to use you'll see me on my YouTube channel. This is my all-time favorite board. It's the one Santa Claus gave me, you guys, in 1973. That board was made by Parker Brothers, and it's a circuit that design came out in 1972. So,
wow.
Yeah, I got a few boards with me. Yeah, John's museum's incredible because he's got hundreds of boards, you guys. Amazing history in that museum. Go see it.
Yeah, and I'm lucky to have seen quite a few of the boards because whenever the Paracon was on, sort of, they were brought over, weren't they?
Yeah, we all brought over boards. We sold boards there. I 2 years I brought boards to sell. They were gone right when the conference started. Yeah. I sold all the boards, but we brought a lot of boards to the show. I know Calvin brought some, John brought some, I brought some. We always bring our boards with us. Merch, Robert Merch brought his. Yeah, we love our boards, you guys. There's such cool history to them. Even the fact of how the artwork on the boards have changed over the years, and it's fascinating. You can then and here we go. Here, I'm going to give you a pop quiz, Jacqueline.
Oh,
let's see if you've been listening. Okay, what is the difference between a talking board and a Ouija board?
Oh, Ouija's just a brand name, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That's it, you guys. Not all boards are Ouija boards. Very good, Jacqueline. Yeah. All boards are talking boards or spirit boards, but Ouija is a brand, patent, and trademark name. Who has owns it right now? Very good. Yeah. Very good.
Yay! I'm rubbish at quizzes. I'm glad that's an easy one. We're not doing any more questions, all right? Not like that one.
I get to throw one out. I get to throw one out, and then you guys get to throw questions to us.
Yeah. Well, about anything like Ouija, you know, it is
Ouija, spiritual, paranormal, consciousness.
Yeah, that's right. So you
want to talk about any of my books? I mean, whatever you want to talk about. Here's my cat book. So I do channel animals, as I mentioned, and my cat Jack and I wrote this book together. And that was, and I think we talked about this on your show last time I was on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's so wonderfully illustrated. That's one of the things I like about it the most. But I hired a wonderful artist, and he totally got the concept down of my cats and my animals. And my cats are all in this book.
They're beautiful, though.
And my cat Jack,
photos, yeah.
My cat Jack, I'll show you here. He actually is the storyteller. That's him right there. That's him in cartoon form. And then my cat Hermes, which I talked about before. This is Hermes. Hermes is the one that taught me how to do animal communication back in 1996.
Oh, wow.
And so because he taught me how to do it, he get to be the star of the show in the book, where Jack wanted to be the narrator. And it's Jack's story. Jack told it to me. I just put it into poetic prose. I made it like a poem, but he gave me the words, and it started in a dream, and I just channeled it right out, and we printed that book. The book was been out for 3 years now.
That's beautiful.
It's for the young heart.
Animals. Yeah.
So it's adults and kids, both ages, because we all have a child living within. It's for the young at heart.
Oh my God, like the kid ever grew up.
Yeah. I think it's good. If we look at the world with that innocence eyes at times, it really also helps us develop our skills. Because the adult wants to go, oh, that's not happening. You're not getting that hit. You don't know when things are going to happen. Who are you to tell, right? But the child within, because I was a child when I was born, I was at the age of 2 or 3. I had an imaginary playmate who's not an imaginary playmate. I talk about in that book you have. His name's Dacky. And because I was, I guess, innocent as a child, I knew it was real, and that allowed me to develop my skills. To this day, I know all these other dimensions exist, and they're very much real and alive in my world.
That's brilliant. I can't remember what the answer was last time, but did your family know? Well, they knew that you had an imaginary friend, but how did they see that?
Who?
Your family.
Oh, gosh, yeah. So my mom said to me, I go, you don't see Dacky? She goes, who are you talking to? And I go, Dacky. Dacky said hi to my mom. You know, she's like, there's nobody here, Karen. There's nobody here. She would flat out tell me that. And she goes, now, if you want to go to school and be a big girl, you're going to have to not tell people about this and talk about it. You need to put that away. You need to stop that. She told me that, you guys. It was horrible. I was like, Dacky. And I wrote about it in that book. I wrote about when I tried to put him away, and he never left. He came back when I wrote that book and helped me write that book. He said, I stayed outside of your awareness, outside of your circle, so you can get through school. So I didn't tell my friends, oh yeah, look at Dacky, he's here to school with me. I just put him away in my mind and said, you can't go to school with me. And he respected the boundaries. So I really thought I got rid of him. And I didn't want to. He was such a lovely little character. He looked like a little elf, a little sprite. And he was so friendly, and he could change sizes, and it was just super sweet, and just talked to me about a lot of different things that we had some really good conversations, about life, I guess, as a child, how a child sees life. Who are these people that tell me what to do? Oh, well, those are your parents. Well, those are not my parents. I have other people. They said, you do, but these are the people. And they would tell me things like this. I'm like, it's like, mom didn't want to hear that either. She's like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So my parents, out of the goodness in their heart, to help protect me, to go to school, kindergarten, first grade, and to not be made fun of, because they would have made fun of me back in the 70s.
That's right.
Oh, of course. So I learned who I can talk to this about with and who I can't or shouldn't. But the Ouija board, when I started using it at the age of 8, you guys, that was my lifeline back to the dimensions. And I'm like, okay, now I can talk to all these different beings. And my mom said, they aren't here. You can't do it. And they knew I was using the Ouija board. Oh yeah, they knew. They thought it wasn't real. That's why they didn't care. My mom said, all those years? I said, yep. Oh, they believe me now. They've seen me. They've used it with me. They watched the shows. Santa Claus gave me my first board, right? Wow. So they're my whole family's into it. They know it's legitimate for me and all that. And so there's no issues now. But yeah, you guys, sometimes people in your family may not accept the things you do because it scares them. Or you're different. Right. Yeah. Or maybe there's an element of, you could do it. Why can't I? Well, then you shouldn't be doing it. There's always different reasons why, but I say, celebrate you and trust that uniqueness you have. Everybody has these abilities to channel, to reach into the other dimensions. You don't have to do it with the Ouija board, but you can. You don't have to. Right, Jacqueline?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
There's many ways of doing it.
Yeah, I get some great conversations when I'm on investigations. Sometimes if I'm on a public event, like, you'll just see someone and it's like something like table tipping, and it's just going to yes and no. And the host was going, what year is it? 1900s, 1901, 1902. And I just came out with a year. And how do you know
love
that?
table tipping. I used to all the time.
He went, yeah, and then I sort of said more things. And he went, yeah, how do you know that? And like, mate, it happens.
It does happen.
Yeah.
Does everybody know what table tipping is? Your audience, I don't know if your whole audience knows.
Yeah, like watching from the UK. So at the moment, but for people who don't want to who don't know, do you want to explain it?
Yeah, I think you should explain it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very British thing. I've been on a US podcast, and
we did table tipping back in the 1900s too. But you guys were the ones that were notorious or known for doing table tipping.
Yeah, Colin loves a bit of tipping. Yeah,
tipping. So, see, I know. He calls it tipping.
No doubt. Well, we're doing some on Friday night.
British accent, tipping. Tipping. But you guys are great. It works. I love doing it, but it's slow because, like you said, you have to get the table moving, and you got to go through the dates, like 1901, 1902, 1903, ding ding. It's that kind of. It's like the knocking and rapping on the walls the Fox sisters did back in 1848.
Oh yeah,
in the United States.
Right.
So it is a slower process, but I think it's great to experiment with all these tools, even a pendulum, oracle cards, tarot cards. Dowsing rods, I Ching. I've experimented with so many of these different tools until you find one that works for you. And the biggest tool you should experiment with is yourself. You really are the tool that works all of these things. You're the one that's really doing the work.
Yeah, that's it. It's amazing what you can get just through listening and picking up things on your senses. And I much prefer that. But when I'm sort of hosting, then you do get the gadgets out and things. But yeah, it's just so many different ways just to suit different people, isn't there? We've got some questions then. So Leanne wants to know when the next paracon is then.
Well, I don't know. I mean, over there where you guys are, or over here?
Wow, are you doing one?
Oh, I just did an online one. Did 2 this year. Oh, I did one with the UK. That was in January, and I did another one in.
Oh yeah, of course you did.
Right.
Yeah,
it was great. And I did another one in the United States. That was that a month ago? So I've been doing them online, you guys. It's a lot easier and less expensive. You have to travel. The thing of the big paracons, they're around. We're still doing them in the United States, but they're just not that where they used to be. Seems like there used to be a lot more of them. Doesn't it feel that way?
We've got a lot of smaller ones starting up
Yeah,
over here.
smaller ones.
So
Yeah,
we don't have the big one like that one over here now. So that's
yeah.
generally like in the US, isn't it?
Yeah, the
But
My Paracon was the big one we had, the My Paracon, and
I
they're
always
not
wanted to
doing
go to
yeah,
that
they're
one.
not doing it anymore. They're branching out and doing smaller things, special things.
Yeah,
It's not like the yearly thing they did, and I'm gonna tell you what, that is a blast. I
yeah.
mean, 2,000 plus people go through there. We have 3 floors. We just took over the whole casino. It got so huge, and the stage is amazing. You know, MJ's come over several times with us
Yeah, she
over here,
has.
and Dixon
Yeah.
and the whole crew. It's Carl. It's been a blast.
It must
That
be a
I
scream when
love
you
that
get back
Paracon.
together. When
I
you get
know.
back together, it's mad, isn't it?
We should just
But
have
yeah,
one big
great
Paracon
times.
reunion. All of us come together and just do our own thing.
Oh my God, yeah, we ought to. But yeah, I want to go to Gettysburg as well.
Gettysburg. Oh,
That's
they do a
that sounds a
Paracon.
big one, yeah.
There's a big one
That
there.
sounds brilliant. Yeah. It's the Christmas in July or something, isn't it? That's what
Yeah,
they
I think I
usually
was gonna
something like
say
that.
it seems like it's summer or fall. I can't remember exactly, or maybe I don't quote me on that. I can't remember where it is. I've never spoken at that one, or I've gone to it, but I have not gone to it. I used to live on the East Coast. I've been all over, and I've been to Gettysburg and up and down and all
Yeah.
those places, and been to all the wonderful haunts over there.
Wow. Just so many stunning places out there.
Penhurst,
So
yeah, Penhurst Paracon. It looks huge. That's a good one, Lynn. The Penhurst Paracon. Yeah, that's a good one too to go to. Richard and Stepp, I think, usually speaks of that one.
all right,
Oh,
yeah.
Aaron, you guys know Aaron Sagers too.
Oh gosh, Aaron, yeah.
Yeah,
I've met
see,
both of them
all of us,
obviously,
the
yeah.
United States came over to the UK. It was like the invasion of the US, of the
Oh,
USA.
it was brilliant. And Richard's actually born locally to where I am. So he's in Leicester, which is like about 20 miles from where I am, if that.
Oh,
So
oh
yeah,
wow.
so that's where I was actually born. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah, it's like a local lad. I did Shepton Mallet for 2 nights with him and MJ. That was a good night. Yeah.
That's
And
lovely.
I got
Yeah.
a mention in his book as well because he did a book because he went to 2 prisons, Shepton Mallet and I don't know if he featured the Skirrid in there or something about the judicial sort of system and stuff. But yeah, so that was an interesting one. So yeah, Leanne, Howard Street Cemetery.
Mhm.
She's
I
got a
have that
video
on video
on that.
of my own. I did my own thing there, filming it, and you just feel it. You just when you get to these and you got to remember in the United States, our East Coast is our old nation, right? Williamsburg, Jamestown. That's where our country got started, really, to the modernization of the country that it is now. So that's where most of our history is. So there's a lot of really cool stuff to go see. It gives you a backache.
Yeah, I know a lot of it does so, doesn't it? Like, and you're never at the right height for anything, are you? So I went to a prison the other day. We couldn't do a lot because we didn't have anywhere to sit. And it was really like grubby. What can you say?
What
And
what
we
what,
didn't really
what
have any
tools?
tables.
What
Huh?
tools did you use when you were there? Did you pull out some
Well,
gadgets?
we used a lot of gadgets because
Yeah,
I wanted to use a board, but the thing is, we've got a table for table tipping, so we
yeah.
tried that.
It's too hard.
But you can't like stand and use a board on there because
No.
it's just not right height. So we're kind of stuck for that one. I've also got a new tool which is like the Estes method, and basically a person
Oh,
gets sensory deprivation, can't see, hear.
yeah.
Basically, they've got their hands on a green button and a red button, and you ask questions, and then you see which one they tap. And I'm
Okay.
getting really good results with that. So that's something which has come out in the UK recently.
All right.
A person had the idea, a guy called, well, actually, Andy Guy actually designed it. And wow, I've used it now 8 times on a public event, and then this time about 5, and I am getting incredible results on it. So I can't wait to use
Yeah,
it again on Friday.
that's great. I know you because you see the person who's a sitter can't hear, and right, you're blindfolded too, and then somebody out here is asking questions, and you don't know what they're asking, and you're just doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yep. That's great. That's great.
So it's very like the Estes, but like Estes is like down to how well you can hear.
And I've done
Because
that's what I've done the Estes method.
yeah,
I actually love that. That's one of my favorites to do when I go to
yeah.
certain investigations. I love that.
But
Same
this isn't
concept,
listen.
except we blurt the words out.
Yeah, because I did it at Warwick with MJ, and we got Crowley come through,
Oh,
and that was incredible. She was
wow.
doing it, and I was asking the questions, and I kind of tuned in. And I put that out on YouTube, but that was amazing. I love that.
That is so cool. Oh yeah,
Yeah, we're
Lynn
just
just
sort of
loves
getting
ladybug.
some. So Jamie's on the team. So hi, Jamie.
Hi,
Hope you're
Jamie.
well. So he was at the prison at the weekend, and we got.
Okay, so these are all people from the UK right now.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, because
definitely.
I recognize a lot of you guys. Oh, Milligan.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
Hinsdale House. Right. Okay.
oh yeah.
Yeah, you're hitting, Lynn, you're hitting all the great places over here in the US.
Oh, she is. Yeah. I keep seeing the photos of you out there, and it's amazing.
He's come to me saying, let them know I'm here. He's very demanding. Somebody named Raymond's here. Okay, huh? Are you getting any hits on Raymond, Andy? Sounds like you're getting something.
Yeah, so Andy is getting some good stuff. He brought my mum through one of the podcasts, which is amazing.
Wow.
Like he just said, "Oh, I've got that." I was like, "Yeah, that's my mum." So
that's trusting yourself, trusting the messages you're getting, just and speaking them out.
Yeah.
Oh, cat balls, they are fun. I like the animal toys. That's fun.
Yeah, I do, and like loads call them, but like if they're happening on demand, then what is it? You know, it's there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay, people just like go, "Oh no," but nothing's designed for what we do.
I know.
Well, Andy Guy's stuff is now more, but
well, you guys know me. I'm the one to first use the Ouija board. So what I do when I go to investigations and there's no table, I sit cross-legged for my partner. In fact, when I started using this board, that was the only way I would do it. I'd sit cross-legged on the floor. We put it right on our laps. And then you don't have to worry about it. We got to sit on the floor if the floor's dirty. But when you're a kid, you didn't care. That's how I always did. I never even sat at the table till I got a little older. I was always on the floor.
I sit cross-legged a lot.
Yeah.
I'm so cross-legged at the moment, to be fair.
Actually, I am too. And I'm sitting cross-legged in my chair. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, I usually do. Yeah, because I work from home and I have to work
I'm at my desk working. I love sitting this way. But yeah,
yeah.
But not everybody can sit that way for a long time. And they would tell me their legs would hurt, their back would hurt. So then I had to go, well, let's go sit in a chair. It just felt like on a table because it felt better. But you could do that. Sit cross-legged with a partner, at one of your investigation spots and try it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just bring a towel to sit on or something in case there's spiders and bugs. And
I do sit on the floor wherever and like, oh my gosh.
I'm used to doing that too. MJ would do yeah, I know, right, Lynn?
Oh,
yeah, MJ had the best. She really, she put that on so she could have her friends around her after all her cancer treatments. When she started that whole program, the Paracon over there, Sage Paracon, it's called. And
Sage, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's great memories.
Great memories, and I cherish them. I still hold them, and I still laugh. I still think about some of the things we do, and
and shit.
Yeah, that's right. Hashtag and shit. You're right. That came out of there.
Yeah.
You guys, we have a lot of humor we use, but we also get down to brass tacks. We do some great investigations.
Oh my God, yeah.
And there's always something good conversations to have about anything paranormal. And I was going to say, when Barry popped on here, he gave a really wonderful presentation on developing your own psychic abilities. Yeah, it was a great experiential presentation, and we got to practice with that. So yeah, there's a lot of good things that happen at these Paracons.
Oh, it's brilliant because I kind of knew Barry then, but not as well as I do now. And he was there and he didn't actually know anybody. So he's dead chuffed to see us and the other person is with, because at least there's somebody from the UK sort of thing.
Yeah.
And but yeah, he really enjoyed that. And yeah, it was just brilliant, wasn't it? If Cat pulls the position well and go off a sensible manner, you have to,
yeah.
Wonder what's going on. But that's it, isn't it? And everything we do, we ask questions on.
And we should.
So have you ever used the board and someone asks questions and you answer in your mind before the spirit does on the board?
We have done that. I said, don't even ask your question out loud. I used to do a lot of experiments with this tool when I was developing, even before I came out in the public. I want to see how far I could push my abilities at using it and also the boundaries of consciousness. That's what I talk about this tool now in the terms of consciousness, because you're tapping into awarenesses, consciousness, and other beings is what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I can talk to my higher self. My higher self talks to me through the board. Why couldn't I talk to somebody else sitting across the table who doesn't even don't ask it out loud? Just ask your question in your mind. We did that many times and it worked. I can't remember one time it didn't work. In fact, this is interesting. Just thought of this right now. That was a great question. Thank you for asking that, because it brought up something else. I had these people in my house and they were filming me for this documentary show. And I was sitting at the table with one of my board partners. And there was two people that were, I would call them grips, working the camera, kind of getting B-roll, shooting pictures of my Ouija boards and stuff. And there was a guy that was, more the producer asking the questions. And so when we were all done, this is, there's two stories I want to tell. This is remarkable. And this will go back to what, I think it was Karen that just asked that question.
Yeah.
First of all, there was a dog next door and it wouldn't stop barking. And we had the windows open because it was a bright, beautiful air coming in. And even if I closed the windows, the dog would bark. Mm-hmm. And I was like getting ready to go tell my neighbor, please silence your dog. And my guides on the board said, we'll take care of it. Like, what? Next thing you know, the dog was quiet and went around the house, quit barking. So the spirit guides had the dog shut up. Then when we were all done filming, I said, hey, would anybody like a message here? And they said, sure. I go, okay, we're going to do something different. You're going to sit here. Don't even ask me anything. Don't even speak out loud. We're going to have the guides just talk to you. And I went around to each one of them, gave them a message. And one guy was crying. He's like, oh my God. Somebody else was like, this is brilliant. And one guy got a message that said, now it's your turn. Now it's your time. I go, well, that's stupid. That's me. I go, well, that's stupid. He goes, no, it's not. He goes, I've been asking if I should jump off and start my own production, do my own production work. Now it's your time. He's like, that told me everything. So it's kind of like what Karen was saying. They didn't really ask a question. They just posed with kind of what they wanted to have answered in their mind. And then yet the message that came through the board, my guides came through, gave them what they needed to hear. But we've also done it where people ask the question in their head and gotten the answers too. Now, to make it work, again, I have been using the tool for a very long time. I was working with a partner who worked really well with me, and we had a great connection. And all that has to be in place to be able to do these kinds of things on that level. And since we already had that connection going, I know it's going to work. I'm comfortable with it. Like, I was blindfolded before using this tool, and I did talk about that in this book, my blindfolded experiment in here, because this is when I was in college. A lot of the people were saying from other people going to school with me, classmates, because I've been out of college for many years. I forget what you even call it anymore. I was in my sorority and I was doing the board all the time. And some girls were like, well, what is that? What are you doing? Is it the devil? It's evil. How do you do it? You're pushing it's fake. Right. So, I've heard all this my whole life. At this point, I've been using the board. It had been 13 years. That's it. Just 13 years. So I was good at it. I've always been good at it. So a couple of my girlfriends in the sorority were really good at using it too. And I said, well, why don't we get blindfolded? So we got blindfolded. We used a board that looked like that big one back there, the 1950s board. Wasn't that board, but she had a board just like that from her family. And so it was a bigger board. And at that point, I was only using my little board. So people go, well, you can memorize the size of the board. No, that's not how this works. That board, the letters are different. It's larger. There's more space. They just put the board on my lap. I didn't know if it was facing me or facing the other person. Didn't matter. We were blindfolded. Our hands were on the planchette. And then I had another gal sit and be the scribe. So she wrote every time it stopped in a letter. And my God, it worked so well. I didn't know what it was going to do. I assumed it would work because I had been getting good connections with all these energies and getting messages and all kinds of just crazy stuff. Good stuff. And it spelled out a beautiful message for a woman in the room. And the woman in the room, none of us knew this. She had a sister who had died a few years earlier. One other girl in the room knew it, but the rest was, I think it was 8 or 9 of us. None of us knew she had a dead sister. But her dead sister came through and she started just crying, sobbing, crying. And all of us started crying too, because it was so emotional, the message that came through, and spoke to her about how she's okay. And, her sister died in a car wreck. And so did sister's boyfriend. And they were very young, they were like in their early 20s. I think they were like, she might have been 20, 21 when she was killed. The whole family was upset. Her other sister was upset. She took that message she got, and it's in my book. I put it verbatim in this book, you guys. That's what I was writing, everything down verbatim, taking copious notes since about 83. And then I keep all my notes on every session I do. So she took the message to her parents, and it really made her parents have a sense of peace. And at that point, when this message came through, and we were blindfolded, it was kind of a fun game to see if we could do it. I didn't feel like I had to do it ever again. It worked so well. And the point wasn't that. The point was messages come through that are timeless, that are about unconditional love. Your relationships never end. These people, they're always with you. And the message said that, we will be with you again. We're like a soul family. We will be around. We'll see you. We're with you now. Try not to be upset. Live your life. We're here. You just don't see us, but we're here. We see you. We feel you. You know, that's what the message was. And it was beautiful. But the fact it came from us who couldn't be controlling it from the EDM motor, we couldn't see, our hands are just moving frantically fast. It went really fast. And then another chick's, you know, spelling it out. Not my partner and I, this other chick who wasn't even, her hands were even on the planchette.
Brilliant.
So
Yeah.
I've done a lot of things over the years with the Ouija board, experiments and places where I've used it, just to see, can I push the boundaries of how this tool can be used and how to use it for communication.
Yeah. It's fascinating. It's amazing that you say, like, using your mind and not asking questions. It's like Nooster Abbey, which is a place which Barry sort of works at, and just absolutely beautiful sort of country house, really. With the
Well, isn't it like doing psychic readings? You don't know that people may ask a question. I have people that come to me, I don't even see them. They send me an email, they give me a couple questions, and I don't talk to the people. I don't know who they are. They come from around the world, and I read for them. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just tapping into the energy. And then I give them other things that maybe they didn't know they wanted. And I give it to them. They go, that match. That's exactly what I really wanted to ask. I go, the guides knew you wanted to really hear that instead of that. You know, it's funny how that works. But that's what we're talking about, how to develop these skills. And when I use the board, I found my clairsenses developing even more so because I was trying all these ways to communicate that I've, you know, taken away some of my senses, you know, the sight sense or something to see if I could still get the messages. And that was the beginning of really my psychic mediumship abilities.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. You guys, I love the tool. I love this tool. If you can't tell.
Yeah. Yeah, but I've seen you use it. Oh my
gosh.
God.
Yeah, you've seen me.
It's mad, you know, like I will put a link to one of the sessions where you're using it. Like, wow, it's, you know, you can't keep up with it. You know, if you're looking
I can't. It's
well, we wouldn't, like, if we were trying to write all the letters, we wouldn't, you know, we'd struggle. But the person who's recording it, wow.
And that one, when the dead sister came through, the girl who was writing, I mean, she was having a hard time keeping up too, because how fast it moves fast for me now. You see me with my eyes open, but how fast it moved back then was just uncanny. It was like, I don't think I've ever seen it move that fast. I was hanging off for dear life.
Oh, it's amazing.
I wish we had that on video. I wish we had a camera at the time. You know, this is back in 86. Okay. This is in 86. So we didn't have cell phones, but did I have a camera? Oh, I didn't have a video camera at that time. I got one later than that. So I don't think we had access to even have a video camera. So it would have been the old VHSs or something. So I would have liked to have recorded that, because people were like, you can't do it blindfolded. That's BS. I go, no, I have. They go, that's not true. Oh, I'm here to tell you it is true.
Yeah.
I put my hand on a stack of Bibles. I would be burned at the stake. I would never recant that story or any of my stories I'm talking about with the Ouija board, because it's all legit and real for me. It's all happened. Yeah.
And I've seen you use it. You know, I've seen you in person using a board. I see how well you use it. And
thank you. Yeah.
It's there, isn't it? And like, you are the queen of Ouija.
Oh,
you really are. But you know, it's incredible when I've seen it, like YouTube, like in person.
Oh yeah, if you want to see how it works, you can go to my YouTube channel and look up one of the videos where I'm getting messages. I'd call it messages from the hat, and people would write in from around the world and give me a message. I write them up, throw them in a hat, and then pull them out of the hat without looking, and then we just answer the questions. And the guides would come in and talk, and it would last sessions for 3 hours. I'd be doing this. And then I have to go edit it all and then put it together, because I had to speed it up, because you don't want to watch me go da 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 da.
Yeah.
I'd speed that really fast, so it goes like, but then I show you the right speed, because then I slow it down when it ends and it goes da 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 da. It's like that. So you can go there and watch it. You'll see what she's talking about.
Yeah, but it is fascinating. So Karen says, if you ever had unwanted negative energy come through the board, would not leave. Or it was mimicking another spirit?
Another great question, Karen. Yay to the Karens. Okay, so one time, and I talk about this in one of my books, I don't get negative ever since I made this shift. But it was in 1983. Let me think what year it was. Let me make sure it's right. No, 83, 84. I was in college before I took it. So it was probably 84, 85. I can't remember. It's in my book anyway. I was working the tool with my brother. And I was at my parents' home at this time. My brother said, hey, get your Ouija board. I want to use it with you, because he and I would do it really well. And I was just back from visiting from college. And I had my Ouija. I travel with my Ouija board, you guys. I always have a Ouija board with me. If I don't have one, I'll make one on the fly. So he goes, Karen, in school today, we were using the Ouija board. I said, what? He goes, yeah, teacher let us use the Ouija board. He goes, it was so fun. It reminds me of when you and I used to do it all the time. I go, let's do it. So we sit down, start working it. We're talking. I think we're talking to, gosh, I can't remember, some spirit guide at that time. And all of a sudden, the energy changed, and somebody came in and went, how dare you? And it started cussing at me. All kinds of explicits.
Oh,
it was really negative. And I didn't let that last long at all. It might have got a chance to get out 3 or 4 cuss words. I was kind of shocked. My brother goes, what's that? And I don't know. I picked the board up. I go, we're not going to put up with that. You know, when somebody calls you on the phone and crank calls you back in the day, you just hang up the phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I took my sleeve, and it was that board right there, guys. Took my sleeve, wiped the board off. He goes, what are you doing? I go, well, I don't know. I'm just wiping the board off. I'm doing a ritual is what I'm doing. If I do a ritual here, I'm going to let the energies know they can't come through my board if I don't allow it. That changed everything for me. And then from there, I met a spirit guide named Wilma Jean. And Wilma Jean came through and worked with me for about 15 more years and talked to me all about the afterlife. Her life when she was alive, but all about afterlife, what happens when you die and all this stuff. And I was studying psychology, and I was so fascinated with all this. But yeah, I did that, and I never had a problem since. I never had anybody mimicking, because what I developed a lot of techniques to keep that at bay. First of all, I feel very strong in my own auric field. I've learned over the years to center myself in the light. I've done a lot of self-hypnosis, I'm a therapist. I've done a lot of therapeutic work on myself. I've done a lot of clearing out. I know how to tap right into that energy, and how to tap in the higher guided energy of the guides, I call them, or source. And once you connect to that, you're safe. You're safe in these spiritual dimensions. I'd be afraid of people in the 3rd dimension.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Right. So I don't have that. So I don't go into it thinking that way. And what I do now when I get on the board, and that kind of developed after that session I had with that weirdo, Jay's like, what is that? And I go, listen, we're not going to deal with that ever again. And sure enough, it never happened. I have the guides come through. The guides are my spirit guides, ethereal beings. They're an extension of source, wisdom, source energy. They're white light. I can't see them. I will never see them until I cross over into their dimension. They're pure love and vibration. And when they come through, I feel it. I mean, they're here right now. I'm talking about it. They're like, yep, you're here. They're right here. I can feel them. So it's not their physical. I just feel their presence, and it overwhelms me with this beautiful love. And that comes through first. Every time I channel, that comes through first. And then once I got that love vibration, then it happens, and everything else can come from that. When I do my readings, I get in that love vibration, I call it. I get in touch with the guides. I say some prayers, and I write about techniques in here to use to do that. And I also talk about it in this book too, because this book's really about how to do this work off the board. Because if not everybody wants to use the board, and I talk about a lot of this stuff in that book too. That's kind of like Ouija. This is Ouija 101. This would be Ouija 404. This is like PhD level. This is college level.
Yeah.
High school, college. Yeah.
That's what. Certainly PhD. Yeah.
It's PhD, you guys.
Yeah.
I did a lot of research for that book. Yeah. It's heavy.
Yeah.
Because I want to tell people this is possible to do and not have this negative energy at you. You can shift yourself. It all comes back to our own energy and our belief systems. What you receive, what you believe is what you receive when you come to using these tools. You've got to be centered in yourself. And I talk about that. So here's a fun fact. I will use these centering techniques off the board. I will use them when I do business decisions. I will use them when I go into business meetings. I will use them to get myself in a strong place. And recently I've been using it now more and more in my relationships because I realized that's what the answer is. Being strong on yourself, knowing who you are, knowing your own worth, and knowing that when you go into the other dimensions and work with these energies. I see
that knowing your worth. That knowing your worth is a biggie.
That is the big thing.
People have doubts about their ability, about who they are and what they do, because it's easy. Like, with Facebook, with social media, everyone so finds it easy to like call people, slate people, say bad things, but they don't actually say good things, do they?
Not as much. It's really sad. So I back away from social media a lot. I just post now about my books or when I'm on a show. I posted like your show today, or the books I'm writing, or where I'm speaking next. I do some of my dancing a little bit, but I'm careful because I don't like that energy. I don't like to be around it. I don't like it. Because what it does,
No,
it takes your own energy down. And if you're around people that are negative and are so fearful about using this tool, or I say, don't use this tool if somebody's that's fearful, or they believe bad energy is going to come through. That's the last thing you want to be thinking about when you do this work. Hi, baby dog. Hi, baby. I saw your baby.
It's fidgeting. It's
I
like,
need a cat. I need a cat. Get in here, cat. I got 2 cats right over here sitting there looking at me. Get in here. Usually one sits behind me when I do my shows.
I'm about to take my light out because he's getting near it. But yeah, so Karen, like she sort of said, how do you move them on if they're sort of bad and
yeah, okay, so
latch onto you as well?
This is great. This is great. So one of the things I learned early on as a therapist, and I studied under a psychologist who was teaching how to do past life regressions, which doesn't have to be past lives. It could be future regressions or regressions, I call them. It can be going into the dimensions with hypnosis. And I trained with her. I did it for a year on myself. And that was really about learning to release, I call it cellular memories that have been stacked or embedded upon my own energy through different lives I've lived or simultaneous lives. So this gets into some weird physics, consciousness stuff. But I have to say this to talk about this topic, because we can be holding energy, like she was talking about, like hitchhikers or energies coming at you. We could be holding that in an auric field and may not be aware of it. So before I do any work, I always make sure I get clear. So I use the techniques I learned from her, which is the self-hypnosis techniques, connected to the divine light within me, which I already believe I'm source. I already believe that I'm an extension of God's source. I am in manifestation here in physical form. That I don't think I'm separate from that. That's a big difference. It took me a while to learn that. Once I learned that helped me get to a place where it's like I'm a light. I can attract energies to me to communicate, but I can also repel them. So I use a lot of techniques. I use breathing techniques. I use grounding techniques. I use visualization. I do these all the time. I get the light one. And again, those are in my books. I think it's so important to do those things. Now, I have had visitors come when I was a little kid who'd come at night in my room. I was scared shitless. Beep of them. Okay. Because I didn't know how to manage this. And my parents told me I was having a nightmare, that it was fake. Again, my parents tell me it's not real. Oh, it was real. There was beings that were visiting me. I had some really beautiful, nice ones called the guardians. And I had these lower level ones that I did not like. I mean, the energies are out there, you guys, just like people. It's a whole spectrum of people out there. Nice, good, in between, and whatever. Get lost kind of people. Then you've got the same in different energies and different dimensions. So I learned at a young age to learn how to start warding that off. It was hard. I was afraid for a long time. I was scared of the dark for years until I started developing these techniques and learning them through hypnosis, learning them in school. I've always been reading self-help kinds of books and practicing as I was a therapist. When I practiced all those kinds of things, I was using those techniques already. Mind over matter, mind over body, a lot of things you could do with work on your own consciousness, your own awareness to help affect, or your own psychology to help affect you out here. And so I use all these different techniques to do that stuff. And all of us can do this. This is nothing special. It's just a matter of finding your own techniques. People say, well, Karen, you have some really interesting techniques you use to use this tool. And I go, I do. And they go, well, I don't know how to do that. I go, well, what do you know how to do? And they go, well, I'm a practicing Wiccan. I do this, or I'm pagan, or I'm a Christian and I like to pray. I go, then bring those to your tools. Bring these to your paranormal investigations. Bring these to your tarot cards. Bring these to your I Ching. Bring these to your dowsing rods. Bring these to the Ouija board. You don't have to do what I do. I just give suggestions. You create your own. You craft your own that work for you, that makes sense for you. And then you're always guided and divinely protected.
Yeah. So Karen, she had difficult childhood as well, because it's funny because I met her on social media, and like she lives locally and we've investigated a few times together. So I've met now, and you know, it's incredible, great medium.
Yeah, she's saying she had the same thing with white.
Yeah,
absolutely. And now I love to sleep. I love to sleep in the dark. I mean, I like it pitch black sometimes. I have no problem. But you guys, there was a long period of my life where I did, we'll say into my 20s and up to my early 30s. And I finally kicked that habit. But in my 20s, I was studying I was learning to become a therapist, and I was a psychotherapist, and I was studying hypnosis and the white light. And I was going to a lot of spiritual retreats and programs. I was doing them myself. I was giving creativity workshops. I was using every technique I could. I studied with the Native American cultures, the Acoma Indian Reservation. I did one of my internships there. I learned a lot from them. I became their friends. They invited me to feasts. They showed me how to do their rituals with smoking the four corners. I do that. I roll my own tobacco, smoke the four corners. There's so many things you can do. And I bring it all to the table when I feel I need that or I want that extra. And sometimes I move into a new house. I'm going to sage. I'm going to sage the windows, the doors. I'm going to do my four corners. I'm going to make it a sanctuary for myself, and I'm going to state it. I smoke the four corners to honor all my ancestors, the animals, the directions, and I bring that energy into my house. And my house is like an altar. People walk into it and tell me that. And the way I just keep my house and the decor and some of the unique things I have, it's all very special. I have a lot of crystals, you guys. I know a lot of you do too, because these things vibrate and they feel and they give us a good resonance. Feel your home, your life, make your home, your whole house your altar. You live in a space that uplifts your vibration. And then you don't have to worry about those things coming. And I sure don't now at all. I am not afraid at all, one bit of working in these dimensions. And because of that, I've had some really incredibly interesting, different dimensional beings visit me now because I'm not afraid of it. And it's just amazing. I have so many friends in spirit. I love it. I love it.
Oh, that's brilliant. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine them just like all around you? And
the guides are right here. The guides all want to say hello to you. They're like this. They're like, preach it, girl. Tell them, amen. That's their humor. They're like, preach it, girl.
Yeah, I've got a friend who's got a couple of guides, and they weren't that good in this life,
Well, you have your guide. You have your group of guides too.
Yeah,
I call mine the Council of Karen. Yeah. You just create your own council. Cool. They'll come. I even have an owl and a buffalo on my Council of Karen.
Oh, beautiful.
And they're spirit beings in those dimensions. Yeah. And I see owls all the time. I just posted some owls on my Facebook page.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Beautiful. You guys, owls are around me all the freaking time. It's ridiculous.
Oh,
yeah. So that's one of my buffaloes too. So, and I'm jealous. Again, Lynn Peters is going to, she'll see the great horned owls up there in Yellowstone, and you'll see the American buffalo, the bison. I love them. Two of my spirit animals.
It's weird. Like I just mentioned my friend who's got these heavy duty guides around her. I didn't really give any details, and she's just come on. How weird is that?
Oh, is this Helena?
Yeah.
Oh, I know Helena. I know her husband too. Hi, you guys.
Yeah.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I miss you guys. And yes,
I do. I actually went to meet Helena. October, which is brilliant.
Oh, I guess we were just talking about you, Helena. Her ears must have been burning.
About the heavy duty guides, but yeah, because you say you've got your guides around her.
Oh, they're so strong.
Helena, my gosh, she's got them around her all the time, and and
we all have these guides, and they want to help us. They don't want to help us by living our life. They're not going to necessarily not let us make our own decisions. And sometimes the angels do save you from a car wreck, and there's things like that happen. They might intercede sometimes, but other times they're going to cheer you on. And to have them, like I told you, when I do my readings or even the Ouija board, they're my bouncers now. They're my ones that contain the session to make it really divinely inspired and to make the love flow through it, so we get great messages. Yeah, I know you, Helena.
That's brilliant.
Oh my God, I used to go on her husband's show a lot, and I met her on the show too.
Oh God, yeah. Like I was on the show. I did one of my first live investigations on the Paranormal Warehouse. So that's
exactly right.
And Elena, yeah. So that was like really kind of nerve-wracking, and yeah, we did 2 lives straight onto the network, and yeah, fascinating.
This is totally a reunion. This is a brilliant reunion. I'm loving it.
Fantastic.
We're having Sage Paracon right now, you guys.
So yeah, they don't leave. They want to help by making my life fun. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Especially when we go to a graveyard, me and Helena, and I walked through one of them. He wasn't happy, but I really felt it as well. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I knew I'd walk through him. It's like, oh God, just walking through ice, and all my hairs are standing up, and
oh wow. I love going to graveyards too. And even during the day, I just love, when I see an old one, I got to stop. I just got to, it's like squirrel. I've got to stop and go pull off and go, and check it out. I just love it.
Yeah, I went to an area a bit near where Karen lives, Rutland, and there's some really interesting churches out there. I was going to an investor, it's like, oh, can I stop at church? I can't, I'm going to be late. So But
Oh, I love it.
I do love churches, and
Yeah, you've got some
it's
beautiful
fascinating. Yeah.
cemeteries, graveyards. You do, and some beautiful churches. I went with MJ when the first year it came out, and I toured around. And I got to see just so much of the country. It was incredible.
Yeah.
We stopped at a lot of these old places, and I was like, I dig it. These places, you guys are like, 2,000 years old.
Yeah, that's normal for us.
That's normal for you guys, or older. I'm like, our places are like, 300 years old, 400.
Yeah, I think I've got a church like 1300s right outside
Yeah,
my window.
you do. You guys do. I went to some Templar church over there. It was beautiful.
They are, and the glass windows. I've got a question from Karen. Do you study shaman too?
Well, okay, so I can't. I'm not gonna claim I studied how to be a shaman, but I do study a lot of shamanic techniques. I've studied other people who teach shamanic techniques, but I wouldn't call myself a shaman. But I am into shapeshifting. I'm also into using your mind to go out of body experiences. Carlos Castaneda, I read all his books back in the 70s and 80s when I was young. I'm into this. I'm into it. And the Native Americans that I worked with, they didn't teach me those techniques, but they did teach me how to bring in energies. So a lot of that does fall under curanderas or shamanic practices. Yeah. I studied so much. And because I love Native American spirituality, that became part of my progression. Yep. I just resonated with it. So fascinating. And I collect a lot of Native American art. I have a lot of art and artifacts, really old from around the world, as well as Native in America, but also in other cultures.
Yeah. I've met some Native Americans in Venezuela.
Oh, sure.
So met the Pemon Indians out there. And
those like curanderas, probably Incans.
It's just beautiful just to go and sort of meet them and, living how they live naturally. And it's great. Right in the middle of the rainforest.
There's such a respect in their traditions and their religions, religions, and also their feast days where they honor their connection to the earth and the cycles and the seasons. And there's something really beautiful about that to be said.
It is.
Mm-hmm. And to be a part of that. They usually don't bring in they call us white people. They usually don't bring you in, be invited in by a family who said you're safe or we accept you. So I was very fortunate to have those opportunities.
Yeah, that's lovely because we just don't respect what's around us, do we?
We've gotten so our culture has gotten so coming from England. We used to be fairies, right? We were so in touch with the nature, and I think technology. I mean, I love technology. The double-edged sword to technology is then we rely on that and not rely on our own abilities. So we kind of have to have a balance of both. So I do spend a lot of time going out. I hike. I like getting outdoors. And by myself. I like to go by myself so I can be with the animals and I can see the owls or I can see the snakes or the lizards and the sororos and the trees and everything else and just see the jackrabbits are beautiful. I love the jackrabbits and coyotes and bobcats and I see them all and it makes me feel like I'm with you. I'm with you. You're my furry brother. You're my feathery friend. We're together.
And that's why I like camping.
Yeah.
It's like getting out in a tent, me and the dog and, I'm going camping at a site where there's a waterfall in June, and I can't wait for that. Woo, 2 nights there, then I'm going on a little island, and
Oh, nice.
It's just to get away, isn't it? And just feel the real energy, and you're there with the weather, you're dealing with the weather. I often go camping and hit a storm somehow, and you're fighting for your contents of your tent, and you're fighting to keep shelter and. You feel so alive doing that.
I agree.
Like your day-to-day sitting in front of, and it's just, I just love it.
The comforts of our home are wonderful. I'm not going to lie. I love my bed.
Yeah.
I love my chair I'm sitting in. But let me say, I do love getting out with the environment for that reason, because you connect back. I do my best channeling. My best information comes. I let my mind go blank and I'm looking, I'm not getting caught up in too much. And then I start hearing messages. And I've written this book right here. I talked about it in there. A lot of the messages I got were downloads, whether I was driving my car or I was out walking. And my friend, there we are. My friend Jackie, my imaginary playmate, who's not imaginary, came back to me when I was walking, and I had to carry. Thank you, Jacqueline. And I carried a little tape recorder, a little dictaphone, a little small one, little like you use when you go on investigations to record, and I would just talk. And I started channeling Jackie, and I'm like, oh my God, you're back. you know, I got to get home and quickly
Oh,
transcribe it. But yeah, I did a lot of this book using my techniques off the board, other ways of channeling and getting downloads through dreams. And so I find that when I get back with nature, I get clarity. And then I can hear the messages and feel it. I think this has to do with just being connected with that environment. You're grounded, you're touching the ground, you're with the elements, like you said, the sun, the rain, whatever's happening in that moment, the dust, the dirt, the animals. And you're like, whoa, it just feels so alive.
yeah. It's lovely. I just love it. I just sort of love the freedom. Like my friends are going, oh no, you know, it's dirty or uncomfortable and whatever. Yeah, your bed might go down in the middle of the night, but it's worth it for the daytime when you're just out there amongst, you know, the sun on your arms or the moonlight or just so
I love
beautiful.
it. And, you know, everybody, we all have our own favorite places. I used to live by the ocean. I had to actually view the ocean where I lived, and I
Oh
would go to the ocean a lot.
wow.
Yeah, that was back when I was in California. And you know what? I'm not an ocean person. I like scuba diving. I don't like sharks. I like looking at them. But I didn't, you know what? Going to the ocean didn't do it for me. I loved hearing the waves, and I did like that. What did it for me was going to the mountains or going to the desert.
Right.
Thus, that's why I moved out here to Arizona to be surrounded in this gorgeous desert, the red rocks, Sedona, the sorors, the wildlife here. I can't get enough of it. So we all have our magic places where we go to recharge, and I just moved to live in that place.
Yeah. It's brilliant. It really is. And I see the photos you post.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, yes.
Desert.
Especially the album I just posted. That was just
it's beautiful. Yeah.
so amazing to see that. It was a treat. A friend, she had found him herself on her own walk with her husband, and then she goes, "You want to see the owls?" I go, "I sure do." So she took me there, and it was just brilliant.
Oh, yeah, it's just so incredible. I don't even think I'll ever go there, you know. I'd probably get a phobia about going there because I went to Tunisia. We ended up in a desert. I kind of thought, well, we're in the middle of nowhere here. You know, we're so far away from everything, and I kind of got panicky.
Well, see, that might not be your place to recharge. Yours might be more of the forest. Yours might be more by a walk.
Yeah.
See, and a lot of people are, and I think a lot of UK and people Welsh in that area, and my families were Scottish. My mom's side of the family were Scottish, so they were into the forest and stuff in the trees. Yeah. I do like the forest too. That would be my number 2 place. My first place though is the desert. It could be Sedona. It could be just right here. I'm looking outside my window right here, my soror right there. I love the desert. I don't see it as empty. It's green. People go, it's green. I go, you should see it in springtime. All the flowers we've got. It's incredible.
Yeah, I've seen the photos you posted.
Yeah, right. People are like, wow. Yeah. So you got to find your place that resonates, and this is part of developing your intuition too. Because if you can get yourself in a space where you physically feel comfortable, your mind, you're getting clarity, you're getting downloads, you're getting a rush of the elements and the energy from the earth, you're bringing all that into you. This is a way to develop your techniques too. So you don't develop these techniques in a vacuum. You do it by all these different things that you and I are talking about, Jacqueline.
Yeah, what's that?
I need the water and woodland. See, people, you can write in there. Everybody else can say what they need. Everybody knows what they need. Oh, I'll tell you what I do need too. I have to have a swimming pool. So my water for me is water that's clear, that I can see there's no shark or fish that are going to bite me. You know?
Yeah, got you.
And it's got to be the Pebble Tech with I don't use chlorine. It's got to be salt water, and I'm happy. That's one of my happy places too. Going into my pool and floating around.
I used to do that. I used to kind of fall asleep in the sea.
Oh,
good. I've done that. Yeah,
gotta be careful with that. If I fall asleep in my tub, I would probably wake up. I'd probably slip down. But I fallen asleep in the pool, but I was on a raft, and it was in the evening, and I'm just laying out there enjoying the stars. It was early evening. All of a sudden, I wake up and I'm like, oh God, about 2 hours went by. Stars is dark. I'm like, oops. But it was so relaxing and comfortable. I just thought I could do that.
Yeah, I was snorkeling. They're just face down in the water, and it's like,
I love snorkeling.
It's like dropping off, and it's like, it's just wonderful.
It is wonderful. And I scuba dive, and I love scuba diving. I really do like that too.
I've done it. I want to do it. I really enjoyed it when I did it, and I'm natural at it. You know, it's
a whole nother world. It's just It's freeing. It's liberating. I try to do as much things in my life before I do any kind of spiritual work that get me into that space where I feel that joy, that love, that vibe we're talking about right now, that connection. And then like right now I can probably channel really well because, I know I can. The guys are like, yep, you can, because of the energy, because we're doing this conversation, right? Doesn't it get you in the mood to, get a Ouija board and start talking to your guides or something?
Yeah. Might get mine out, but I know how you say to do it. You glide your hand and then just see where it goes to, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I need to try that, because that's
You
not a
do.
method people use, is it? They just, it's not working, and that's it. It just,
or they
blocking it a lot of the
they
time.
get impatient and they'll go, instead of saying, what's your name? They'll go, does your name start with J? No.
Oh,
They'll do it that way. They'll ask leading questions. So I teach people, have it spell out. You got to learn to be patient. I only ask yes, no questions if I need clarity. So they give me a whole message, and my messages are usually pages long. It could be paragraphs to pages where I'm just flipping the page and I'm still writing. And that's how it comes through. It's like, just like automatic writing, but I'm doing a planchette, right? On the Ouija board. It is not, it is automatic writing. They said, correct yourself. It is automatic writing. We just don't have a pencil. It's writing to the letters. So I just let it spell and let it go. And then, look at it later, but it comes through. To get that level, it's like you've got to be patient with it. And I think this is a tool that does require developing. It's like creating your skills that's sitting at this board. I always say patience, practice, and perseverance. Patience, practice, and perseverance. And you never know. It could get really good for you in a month. It works for me right out of the box. I see people. I know people that do that too. I've known others. Okay, it might be a month. It might be 3 months. It might be 3 years. But if you stick with it regularly and consistently, you will get great results, especially using these techniques that we've been talking about today when you employ this tool.
Wow, that's incredible. I'd just love to,
Where she lives in Hawaii. Okay. Mauna Loa, looking up at the stars and sitting by the ocean beds. Yeah, it is. And see, I like that too. I don't necessarily want to go in the ocean unless I'm scuba diving or. The water was so cold in California, you guys. I was down in Orange County, which is by San Diego. The water's super cold.
Not cold compared to us.
It was dark, and I'd see fins. I saw a shark in the water.
Gosh,
I never ran so fast out of water before. I was like running on the water. I didn't think you could walk that fast out of water. I ran. I was so scared. Shark. Yeah, that I don't know. I don't like it in the water. It's seaweed in it. It's dark. But if you go to places like Hawaii, which I love going there too, that's where I like to scuba dive. And the rocks, I love the rocks there, and just sitting there, like Karen was saying, and meditating by the water and hearing the water hit, and it's wow. Sunset is rising. I mean, you can get the rising and the sunset over the ocean there because it's an island, right? And go to either side of it. It is beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. I think she's laughing about the shark. They have great. I've seen some great whites down there. I've seen some nurse sharks. I've scuba dived with the nurse sharks. One was pregnant, and I have it on video, and we had to stay back. I don't believe in going to those places where they have them in captivity. This was all in the wild in the ocean.
No, that's sad.
It's sad. And then I also got to with the giant sea turtles. But also, here's a cool one.
Oh, turtles! I love them.
Oh, they're huge.
I've seen the little ones hatching.
Oh, isn't that amazing? Well, these guys are huge, and they are curious. They look at you underwater, and they're eyeing you, and they're swimming by. And they are adorable. And the puffer fish are huge, and they're incredible. Wow. Puffers could be. I saw a puffer like almost as big as a VW bug.
Oh my God.
Big. When you go down in Hawaii, for the animals, they have to be so large and robust to survive out there where the island is. And there's a lot of head walls. So when you go down, you might go 90 feet down, and all of a sudden it drops off another 90. And so you've got this kind of stair step thing. And every time you go down one more dimension, it gets bigger animals. The fish get larger and larger. And I'm like, oh my God. And you can only go so far, or you can kill yourself and get the bends. So you're only supposed to go about 90. The first I went is 120. And I have seen some of these animals that get larger. They get larger all the time. But there's something incredible about that. Again, you're being with the environment. One of the most amazing things I did in Hawaii, I was on the Big Island. This is very spiritual for me. I always wanted to swim with the dolphins in the wild.
Yeah.
I did. We got snorkels. They dropped us way out there. Wow. Got to swim with the pods. I got to be with them. They came up. They're right with you. It was beautiful. It was just amazing. Just took my breath away underwater. I couldn't get enough of that. Everybody's like getting out and having something to eat and drink. I'm like, nope, I'm staying in.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
you can feel they have the energy and vibration. I wanted to feel if I could feel messages from them and get information and just be part of what their pod was. It was just beautiful, just incredible.
Yeah, swam with dolphins and they said they could like jump out, but I don't know, I don't think so.
It's
It's
not
in
for me.
Mexico. Yeah. It's the only chance I had, I guess. I didn't think of like it's supposed to be an eco park, Xcaret. That's
Okay,
where I
yeah.
went. And
Mhm.
yeah, so whether they can get out and want to stay or I
That's
don't know.
better if they could do that. I think I like that. I don't want to make a statement here. Really, it's my opinion is I just really for me I like to be in the wilds with the animals. I
Oh
have a hard time.
yeah,
I
I
went
get
to
that.
Africa a few years ago, and I have a really hard time now going to zoos. I can't go to wild animal parks
Yeah.
anymore either. I just can't do it.
I'm
That's
not
me.
for zoos, to be
I
fair.
can't. I just can't. But I'm not
No.
judging anybody that does. I think it's great to preserve these animals and help
Yeah,
educate people
that's
with the
right.
animals. But for me, it's not for me anymore because I really be in the outdoors and being in Tanzania and seeing these animals in their habitat and not being afraid of us because humans aren't allowed to hurt them and they're protected there in that country. It
Beautiful.
was just incredible.
Yeah, yeah. I did sort of recently get to play with a badger,
Oh,
little
I
badger
saw
dog.
that. I
Yeah.
saw your
So
badger.
it's one which has been rescued. So I think somebody thought they could take it as a cub and keep it as a pet. Like, yeah, okay. And then they realised, and he ended up like near a road. So he got rescued because he's
Oh,
away from his family. At about 8 weeks, this was. So yeah. So
where's it now? What are you gonna do with it?
He's being it's not mine. He's being fed. He's now on sort of solids. Originally, he's on goat's milk, so he's got through
Okay.
that stage. He's on solids, and they're just trying to find a place where they can sort of get him so he can go back out into the wild.
Wonderful. Yeah,
So
I
they
saw
want to
the
put him with
badger.
some. They want to find. He needs to be with badgers now because he's like he needs to learn some manners. The badgers will teach him. But at the moment, he's just having a whale of time with people like, oh, let's bite their heel. Let's bite them. We need food. He's like a right
Yeah.
little monster he is, bless him. He's feisty. I've met two others before and they were like more easy going, but he's yeah.
He's
he's got
feisty.
yeah, but
Wow.
those two were like badgers together. So, they probably kept each other in check a bit, whereas him is like yeah, he's,
That's
full of
so cute.
himself
I
already.
saw that. I'm so glad you
Yeah.
guys are helping it. That's wonderful.
Yeah, so well, I just went to visit him, this guy, he's lucky to sort of get a cub this year and, he's awake all times of night or day, like, the cub wants food, that's it, he's banging on the door. "I want food," and, like, he'll eat, they'll sleep, and yeah, it's
Nope.
been fascinating to spend time with him, and yeah, and I love nature, and I always have done, and,
I do too.
it's from my grandparents, I guess, and yeah. And I even had a badger in my tent last time I went camping. That was awesome. Yeah.
Wow. I guess I didn't I assume you have badgers there. I just didn't really think about it. Do they have badgers in the UK? But I mean, we all have different
But
animals that you guys
people
don't have
don't see them because they come out at night.
at night.
People
Of course we have badgers here too.
yeah, they're
Um,
underestimated. Nobody people generally don't like them. They just think they give them
oh,
a bad
okay.
rap in the UK, which is a shame. Because nobody sees them and go, "Oh, they're cute." Because no one sees them and
Well,
yet
like you said, we
right
don't
near
see them a
towns and
lot either.
cities.
We don't see them as much.
Yeah.
What I remember about the UK, you guys have a lot of foxes. I remember seeing a lot of
Yeah.
foxes.
Yeah, that's right.
And they're
Yeah.
beautiful. And we have foxes here, just different kinds. There's a fox that I see in the desert here. It's a gray tail fox, I think it's called. It's a little smaller, not red.
Oh,
But when I
wow.
see those, it's very rare. I saw one with her babies one morning when I was out hiking, and it's rare when you can see them.
Yeah, it's gonna be released, I think, to
How's he?
it's
Oh, I
got
seen the badger.
yeah,
How's he doing? Yep, yep.
he's gonna, he's doing well and they're, like, looking at moving him on now so that, he can sort of develop even more. He needs to go with another badger, so they can sort of tell him what to do, and then they're sort of gonna put him out to where sort of, I don't colony or whatever, where you get some badger sets and they'll just let him out there and, yeah, he'll
Be with
go
his
and join
badger
them.
kind.
Yeah, he'll be with his
Maybe
kind
his
and
clan, his own family, his own
he
clan.
needs to be
He
because
does. He does.
but the thing is as well, he's not nocturnal at the moment. That's a big problem. He's
That is a big
waking in the
problem.
day. He needs to be awake at night, and
Mhm.
it's not working out for him that way. And that's why he needs to be with other badgers. So You know, he can learn how it should be. Helena rescued a hedgehog.
Oh,
Couldn't be released because he's blind and deaf. Oh. Yeah.
so
She looked
so
after
Helena, do you
him.
still have the hedgehog? Is it your pet now because you couldn't release him? He's a beast.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
Oh, that's neat. Yeah. I mean, so, you know, sometimes animals are so beyond, you have to take them in. I mean, you know,
yeah, that's
I see it all the
right.
time.
Yeah, you know, and as soon as he can, he'll be out there. And you know, I've heard from him like yesterday saying they're trying to find somewhere for him to go. So I might not get a chance to see him again. Like this weekend, I couldn't get there because I was a bit busy. So I'll see if I can go next week if he's still around. You know, I don't know, but they need to move him on ASAP just to start learning and developing.
Just to get him back and not too acclimated to humanity. Yeah.
That's right. You know, we don't want him friendly. You know, he's not a pet, and that's not what his sort of task in the world is it? You
and
know?
you see his claws. He's made for digging and clawing and eating. I mean,
yeah, that photo with the claw.
That's
like
vicious. I saw that. I was like,
claw.
holy moly. Well, that's first digging, isn't it? They dig, the stuff they get. It's pretty intense. It's like the owls. Their talons are so huge.
God,
holy moly. It's scary. Those cute little owl birds, they're probably about that big right now. When they get, you know, up to 3 feet, 2.5, 3 feet, when they're grown up, they are killing machines from the sky. They're the apex of the sky.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
They will eat your cat.
Oh my God. No.
Do you get snakes come into your house, Karen? I haven't had a snake come into I had a tarantula come in my house. I love tarantulas. Tarantulas are safe. I see tarantulas all the time out here. I have never had a snake come in my house, but I post it? Oh, I posted a long time ago. It was about 2 or 3 years ago. A rattlesnake came to one of my side doors and started banging its head, pounding at the door. I'm like, what's going on? And my cat Bear was just sitting there looking at it like this. And the snake was trying to get my cat, but he couldn't because there was a screen door which had metal. So it was like one of those safety doors. So he could never get through it, but it was banging to come get my cat. I was like, what is this? They want to come in my house. And I've seen them when I hike, but I'm pretty careful about it. Just got to always be careful about those rattlesnakes. They look just like the dirt that I walk in. They look like rocks. You can't even see them sometimes. They're very well. We have a lot of different types. We have different types of rattlesnakes too. But this desert's known for the rattlesnakes for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't be keen on that one. I don't
like I'm out. I actually like snakes. I do like snakes, but I respect them. A rattlesnake, you get all the space you want. Oh, I had another rattlesnake. So snakes are a big thing with me, like owls. I had another rattlesnake come into my backyard in California. I posted that on my Facebook page. That was probably 10 years ago. And then it came to my little waterfall pool, and we'd come there and get a drink. But when it saw me, it coiled up, took its tail, went.
Oh wow!
It warned me, and that thing can jump 6 feet. I said, "Oh, I'm back in the house. I got in." You've never seen somebody get in the house so fast. Yeah. And then I went. So I collect snake skins. I find rattles and snake skins, and I collect them. I have a collection of those. So I do appreciate snakes.
Yeah. Helena likes pigeons.
You do like pigeons? Okay, yeah, you guys have a lot of pigeons. I remember we had pigeons, of course.
Oh, and he passed away at 8. Bless him.
I love birds.
Yeah, I do. Like, I've got my Stewies, lovely. Like, he lived with. My mate had a parrot, and she had a cockatiel, and then when the cockatiel died, she got this one, Stewie, and the parrot didn't like him. So the parrot used to bully him because the other one died, and that was it. He didn't want a new one in the house.
Oh, okay.
So when I lost my dog, when I lost my dog, then Stewie came to live with me. So, and they live longer with a dog as well. So that was another reason. But he's fine. He's great. And I interviewed a lady who speaks to animals as well.
Yep.
And like during the conversation, he decided to make a lot of noise. So she's finding out all about my dad through him.
Oh, I love it.
He hadn't even met my dad. My dad had passed before I even got him. Before he was even alive.
But he knows your dad because of you and your energy.
Yeah, I know. And like
Isn't that amazing?
she came out with my dad's name and everything.
That.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm glad we're bringing this up because we're talking about all these animals we have encounters with, or we like, or we're rescuing, or we're helping, or they're in our lives. I mean, they are master teachers. They come here to teach us so much about ourselves, unconditional love,
Oh,
how to rescue, how to be in that love vibration. Animals are fantastic friends and teachers. In Jack's book, he was the master teacher. He talked all about this. When Jack transitioned and died, and Jack finished the book from spirit. He started when he was alive and finished it in spirit. One of my other cats said to me, "Do you know who Jack is?" And I said, "Well, yeah, he's a wonderful cat." He goes, "He's a master teacher of the animals in the other dimension, not just master teacher for humans. He was a massive teacher in the other dimensions." They go, "They know who he is." I was like, "Okay." There's like this, I guess, a pecking order there too.
Yeah, that's it. But we've got to stop on that note. Unfortunately, we've run out of time.
Wow.
But, oh my gosh, I so want to thank you. It's been an awesome conversation as ever.
Well, we knew
And
we'd have fun. We knew we'd just have a good time
God, I
talking.
know. I miss you so much because
I
oh
miss
my
you too.
God.
I know, guys. I'm so happy to see you all here. I mean, I know we're Facebook friends. A lot of us are already, but it's just good to have that interaction right now. And it just felt like a homecoming reunion. You know, the UK is in my heart. I love the UK.
Oh, bless you. But yeah, when you've
You guys
been
are my
over here,
people.
you've had some right crazy times. Yeah. It's
I
absolutely
think that's putting
awesome.
it lightly.
But yeah, like I'm going to paracons soon, and that's going to get messy. So I've got known for my parties in my room. So yeah, like you
Excellent.
get to bed about 4ish, and then you're up for breakfast, and like
It's difficult. Yeah, we do that
yeah.
until 3 or 4 in the morning, and then you get up the next morning, have breakfast, and then start talking. I'm always, you guys, when I come back from the UK, I come back and I stay in bed for 2 or 3 days. I can't even wake up. They
I bet.
wear me out. No, I probably wear myself out because we have so much fun there.
Yeah, I've got one coming up in June, and like, oh wow,
Have a blast.
they're all
Have a
your
blast.
UK people, but yeah, it's interesting. But thank you so much, and
Thank you
good
so
luck
much for
with your
having me.
books as well.
Thank you. Great seeing
Oh,
everybody here, and many blessings to you all.
oh, and thank you, and take care, and thanks everyone for all your comments, and take care. Bye.